Live. Hey guys, Courtney Epps here, and I am so excited to have with me Brian Dalmaso. And, this is another episode of What's Your Plan B and why you would be brain dead not to have a home-based business. So, Brian, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, happy to be with you, Courtney. Anytime I can help,
Awesome. So tell me, just kind of give me your background of why network marketing, how long you've been involved, and kind of just your experience of why you love this industry and what it's doing for you and your family.
Sure. I mean, the funny thing is I said no to the industry for like 3 decades, right? My background is mechanical engineering, architecture, construction, traditional education. So, I've seen the industry and I always thought it was one of those, side hustles. I was very ignorant about the industry itself. And, did we lose you? I think we might have lost you. Courtney, you still there? Can you hear me?
Brian, you're good. I was just stepping back out to let you speak.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was just stepping back to let you speak. Go ahead.
Very cool. Yeah. So the biggest thing is the funny part, like I said, and I think this happens to a lot of people in the industry is, especially if you're on the professional side, doctors, lawyers, engineers, they kind of ignore the industry thinking it's a cute little side hustle. When the reality is it's about a $200 billion a year industry. It's a massive, massive industry. It's bigger than Amazon. So what happened for me is I ignored it for many years. And then finally something came along that I kind of resonated with. It was in the energy space. And since I had an engineering background, it kind of made sense. And it just caused me to take a deeper look at the industry. And I connected with somebody who's earning 6 figures a month. And I said, well, that seems pretty, fairly serious. And I connected with one of your friends, Eric Worre, and met Tony Robbins out in Vegas at the GoPro. I just really saw the whole global professional side of the industry, And it's also, it's where I saw Bob Proctor speak for the first time. So for me, as you know, that meeting or that one seminar changed everything. I ended up studying Bob and then connecting with him and then working with him. So never mind just the network marketing side of it. It led me to working with him. It led me to public speaking, coaching, training. I mean, the skills that you learn inside of any network marketing company that's reputable, leadership, and you learn all these skills for free, right? So you literally get to go to school, network marketing school. You learn teaching, coaching, training, leadership, speaking, all these things over a couple of year period, and you get paid while you do it. And when you look at it that way and you reframe it, you get to learn all these business skills, and you get paid while you're doing it. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think just a lot of people are really ignorant about the industry.
And how long have you been involved in network marketing? Is that like 3 years, 2 years?
I think it's like 5 years. The first company I was with, it grew up for a bit, and then they went a different way, and they sort of subdivided off their network marketing division. Now with them a newer company that's about 2 years old.
Awesome. And, and that one event, I remember GoPro, that was Tony Robbins, I think, and Bob Proctor spoke all at the same event, and Eric Worre. Yes. And, that is really cool. And I keep forgetting that you're a coach for Bob Proctor and, your experience with that. So tell me, one of the things I think so many people don't understand about the network marketing industry is exactly what you just said, that they are being paid while they're learning the information that they need in order to be successful. So me and you, like you paid, I'm sure, to be a part of the coaching program with Bob Proctor. I'm a platinum partner with Tony Robbins. That cost me $85,000 a year. And a lot of the information that we learn through Tony Robbins, people are getting every single day in building a business through the network marketing industry. So, I think one of the biggest things for me is that there is no one, when you're outside of network marketing, there's no one saying, okay, I'm going to help you build a business for free. Like, don't, they either want a cut off of it, or they're definitely not going to share with you their secrets of how they build a successful accounting practice or a successful coaching business without you coughing up a lot of money.
Yes, significant amount of money. Yeah, no question. Yeah, I mean, the communities, like I said, of most larger reputable network marketing companies, they have a lot of personal development. You can only be successful in network marketing by helping a lot of other people. I mean, that's one of the things that Bob Proctor loves about the industry. I mean, he's never been in network marketing. His wife is at a very high level, but he has been sort of beating the drum for network marketers for the past 4 decades as one of the most, how does he put it? It's one of the most transparent, true revenue sources there is. You get paid exactly what you're worth.
Yes.
Right. If you're leading a multinational organization, you can get paid 6 or 7 figures a month. If you're doing nothing, you get paid nothing. So it's a different type of income, and you literally get paid what you're worth. But I really can't say enough about the industry. And we, we coach with a lot of different network marketing companies, and just, I mean, how else do you say that? It's the information that you don't get in traditional schooling, right?
Yes.
When they start talking about mindset and personal development and becoming aware and all the things we learn. So yeah, it's you see a lot of billionaires around the world that are big fans of network marketing. I mean, Warren Buffett has, I think, 2 or 3 network marketing companies in Berkshire Hathaway. You got people like Tony Robbins, Richard Branson, multi-billionaire. Now there's a lot of single-digit millionaires that might sort of look down at the industry. Somebody making, $500,000 or $1 million a year, and they say, oh, that's one of those things, But when you talk to billionaires and people that are global, they all recommend and refer the industry.
Yes. Yes. And I love it, because that's the thing is people don't understand, I get to see it from an outsider's view. Mm-hmm. I was in network marketing for 3.5 years. I worked my butt off. I built a team of 900 people, and I had some issues with my upline and ended up leaving and going to another company. And, fortunately, I did really well in that company. I made it to the top 1% of that company, and it was a nutrition product, and I got sick. I had some medical issues, and I just kind of stopped building. And at that point in my life, it was making a decision of, am I going to build my accounting practice again and be serious about it? Or am I going to go out and build network marketing? And I made a decision, me and my husband and my family made a decision that I was going to truly focus again on my accounting practice. And that's what I did 3 years ago. And so I didn't get out of the network marketing industry because I didn't love it, because I didn't love the people in it. It was that I have a skill that's a superpower for me and for most people, freeing up money. And so, I'm not actively involved in network marketing today. And the reason why, just like Bob Proctor does, the reason why I share the industry and why it's so amazing is, one, it's a massive tax deduction, period. Like, hands down, it is a massive way for you to save money in taxes if you just attempt to earn some sort of income. And what I mean by that is that the average household in America is going in debt $7,000 a year. And I'll break it down for you. The average household's making $60,000 a year. They're paying $14,000 in taxes every year. Their take home is $46,000, and the cost of living in America is $53,000. So when you take 46 minus 53, that's a negative $7,000 a year. And that's why we continue as a country to be poorer and poorer and poorer. That's why the middle class is separating us from the, there is really no middle class. It's either the rich or the poor. And that's what's happening. And so many people believe, well, the rich are taking all the money. No, the people that are committed and understand tax strategy, the people that understand how to build a business, whether the economy is falling apart or not, those are the people that are being and continuously being successful year after year. So, you have a good view of what's going on kind of in the world as well as I do. The coaching world, I think sometimes I feel like I'm a coach. Sometimes I'm just telling people, like, they're calling me and they're telling me everything that's going on in their life. And then I have to help them through it. And then we have to talk about financial stuff. But as a coach, I mean, are you coaching anybody in other industries other than network marketing? Because I love being able to see that the industry that is doing really, really well consistently is truly the network marketing industry. It's not brick and mortar. They're having a really hard time right now. And I get to see it on the outside saying, okay, which industry would I be in today? Because clearly it would be network marketing if I wasn't doing accounting.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be clear. Network marketing for me is like the 5th thing I do. It's not the main thing, the 2nd thing, 3rd, 4th. The cool thing about it is it can be a 5-hour-a-week business model. Right. And the reason why I still have my company is I just love to teach and coach and train. And I can take anybody, even if they're broke, for a couple of $100, spin them up in a little business, do some mindset training, get them going. So I am still in network marketing for the love of the industry and the love of helping people. My main thing is I'm the CEO of a software company. And again,
Wow.
network marketing led me to those connections. We have a clothing company, gaming company, I have construction, and I have the consulting company. But we consult with people all over the world. And we have a lot of realtors we work with, business owners, CEOs. We do corporate consulting, sales teams, management teams. So network marketing is only one small division of people we coach. But I coach everything from somebody that's just started in our Mindset Masters group to all the way up to 7-figure earners and that have made money in network marketing, and then they want to compound and build multiple streams. So what you'll find is network marketing for building wealth is a stepping stone. And that's what it was for me. I have a nice little, if the whole world collapsed tomorrow, I could live and do fine just off my network marketing income, which is kind of neat, to have that safety net. But I think that's what you'll find is it's kind of like a gateway drug into entrepreneurship.
That's true. That is true. Because, you just don't learn these skills. And a lot of it, I've oftentimes been told, that it brainwashes you into believing things. Well, some of us need some brainwashing. I mean, we really do. Some of us have been brainwashed into believe that we have to go to school. We have to get good grades, and we have to go get a good job. And in this world today, that doesn't exist necessarily. And so what we thought was the way 50 years ago is not necessarily the way today. And I think so many people have lost sight of that. And we're just trying to help them understand that no, network marketing is not the only way. Honestly, I'll tell you this for just for understanding is that by having a home-based business, see, when I heard those statistics, I knew because I'd done over 900 people's tax returns in the network marketing industry alone, I knew that I could save someone between $4,000 and $8,000 a year in taxes just by having and attempting to earn income in a network marketing business. And so when I heard the statistics, I said, you know what? I can change people's lives. I can help educate them and teach them on this information. And so they can truly take what they're spending money on today, which are considered living expenses as a W-2 employee that they don't get any benefit from, and they get to move that over into the business owner category where now they actually get to write off things that they were spending money on, such as meals and mileage and cell phone and internet and business use of home and all those things. So let me ask you a question, because you're a coach. What is the number one thing that hold people back that you would see in either building a business or going out and whatever dreams that they have, going out and fulfilling their dreams? Like, what is the number one thing that holds people back?
Sure, that's easy. It's a fear of what other people think. And it's the only thing that would ever hold anybody back in any career, anything. It's not a fear of the thing. It's a fear of what other people think about the thing, right? People don't really fear foreclosure. They fear what their parents and family and friends are going to think about their failure.
Yes.
And people don't fear public speaking. They fear what people are going to think about their voice and their tonalities and how they look. So the only thing that I've ever found, and I've trained with people all over the world, is it's not a fear. It's a fear of what other people think.
Yes.
And that's very, very true with the network marketing industry. And when you said that some people are brainwashed, everybody's brainwashed. There's nobody that isn't. Brainwashing is not a bad term. It just means repetitive information that causes your belief system. So you take a brand new baby, you run them through the school system, and you take the parents that did the same thing and the grandparents, right? And generational ignorance moving forward. I mean, everybody's brainwashed. This is how you can have a terrorist or a philanthropist. You take a brand new baby, they're not born a terrorist or a philanthropist. It's the programming through society. So brainwashing is not a bad term. What we teach people to do is to brainwash themselves with information that's going to serve them and their family going forward, and just to be open, right? So I think the first thing is, number one, is to stop worrying about what other people think, because other people aren't thinking. And then number two is to choose to be open-minded, to explore stuff until you get the actual facts from multiple sources, But I mean, we're all brainwashed, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's so hard to, sometimes to get through to people and help them understand. And, I think there's two statistics that if I had known this information, when I was in network marketing, I probably would not be a tax strategist today. I probably would be building a network marketing business. But it was that the average, that 46% of Americans don't have an extra $400 to their name, and 69% of Americans don't have an extra $1,000 to their name. And why that's important is that when you sit across from someone and you share with them, you pour out your heart and soul and tell them what you're doing and tell them how amazing it is, and they come back and attack you for it, you realize that the reason why they're doing that is half of them don't even have the extra money to get started for a couple $100 a month. And they don't get it. So that's, such a mindset shift that you have to understand that if someone can't afford something, you have to put it in your mind why you can't afford it. Otherwise, there's something wrong with you. So if I want a Corvette and I can't afford a Corvette, then I'm going to logically say, well, I don't want to say I can't afford a Corvette. I'm going to say, I don't need a Corvette. Like, why in the world would I want to waste the money on a Corvette? A Corvette's not practical because I have 6 children. How would they fit in it? Instead of just saying exactly what I want to say is that I can't afford a Corvette. So that's the situation where most people put themselves into in network marketing. They truly believe that it costs a lot of money to get started and it costs a lot of money to stay in, and it doesn't. So share a little bit about that. I mean, because so many companies, you can get started for next to nothing. And now you're taking what you're currently spending, meals, mileage, cell phone, internet, and being able to write that off. So, help me with that mindset. Because, people need to understand it doesn't cost that much money. You're not spending thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. And at the end of the day, what's the worst that could happen? Right?
Yeah, it's a lot of things where I see the failure is if you have somebody that's a traditional employee, it's a little bit of a different mindset to start any business, not just network marketing. This is just business 101. Most of the things that people say about network marketing, it's not network marketing, it's business. Try being a new realtor. They have a much higher failure rate. It's about an 87% failure rate. 87% of the people that get a real estate sales license never market a home. Well, network marketing is only about a 65% failure rate. It's actually a much lower rate. And there's actually more millionaire network marketers than there are millionaire realtors in the world. So when you start to compare industries and verticals, try opening up a restaurant. Yes. Try opening up a dry cleaning store. Try, a construction company. I had a construction company. Try to go from being an employee to open up a construction company with a couple of $100,000. So when you look at it that way, network marketing becomes a no-brainer. The downside is it's so damn cheap to get into it that people just easily roll over and quit. Yes. If you put $250,000 into a restaurant, it's do or die. It's just do or die. If people take that same approach and act like it's a $100,000 business, they won't fail. There's like 4 things you got to do, literally. Right? You study for your mind, study for your industry, a little bit of, Eric Worre's GoPro, a little bit of language, take daily measurable action, and surrender to the process, right? Stop caring about what people think and just put your head down. Literally 3 things repetitively. And it's a mathematical certainty, unless the company folds or something, that you're going to be successful. And we really break it down to the basics in our company. And it's just like, you do 3 things. And the 4th thing is to surrender to the process, So I don't think it's a network marketing thing. It's an employee mindset versus an entrepreneur mindset. And breaking through that barrier, people have no problem going to work for 50 hours a week because they have a punch in, punch out, and that's what they're programmed to do. What happens in network marketing is people aren't using their calendars. And I tell my team, if you can't point to your calendar and show me when you're working your business, you're not in business. And that's fine. It's a hobby, and that's great. But don't complain when 5 years goes by and you're getting paid like a hobby. But if somebody takes a half hour on Monday, half hour Wednesday, half hour Friday, and an hour on a Saturday, we teach a 5-hour-a-week business model. And if they're disciplined and they do certain things, that's the deal. And that's any network marketing company. It's just you got to get, if it's product-based, you got to get a little bit good about explaining the products and using videos. If it's service-based, it might be a little easier. But I think that's really what it is. It's an employee mindset versus having your own business.
I love it. And that's so true. And guys, I want you to understand that there are 2 tax systems in our country. And those 2 tax systems, one was created to steal your wealth. Okay. And I'm being dead serious. So it was created to steal your wealth away. And that's the W-2 employee system. And then you have the business owner tax system that was created to provide wealth for you. And the reason why, you may say it's unfair, but the reason why that is that business owners create economy. You would not have a job. If you're a W-2 employee, you wouldn't have a job unless somebody decided we need to create this business. And so you wouldn't have the the health insurance and all the other fringe benefits that go along with it, had somebody not first had a dream to decide that they were going to be a business owner. And so business owners generate economy, and they're spending money back into the economy, not only to buy stuff to grow their business, but then they're also, the hope is that one day they'll hire employees. And then employees, then somebody has to pay the taxes. The lion's share pushes off to the employees. And the reason why is because, and you may get upset if you're a W-2 employee and don't understand this mindset, but business owners, we're helping hundreds of people. We're helping thousands of people, sometimes millions of people. And so because of that, our ripple is bigger, and we're getting massive tax benefits from that. As an employee, you can typically only provide for your family, and that's if you can do that, because the average household in America is going to spend more money on taxes than food, clothing, housing, and transportation combined. So it doesn't leave very much room, nor does it leave a lot of time, which I think is the point, for you to go out and build a business. And what I found in the network marketing space is that it's a way for a couple $100. Now you can free up that money. All you have to do is change your W-4 exemptions at work, and you can free up enough money in order to start a business within a month, even if it does cost $500, which depending on what company. And you can free up enough money on a monthly basis, because here's the thing. Like I said earlier, you can redirect living expenses and turn into business expenses. How that works, and what I mean by that, is that the money that you're spending every single day as a W-2 employee is either going to be considered living expenses or itemized deductions. Most people get no benefit from itemized deductions. 96% of Americans do not. And the reason why is because of the caps and the percentages that you have to go above in order to get any benefit from medical bills, medical insurance, things like that. And true living expenses, as just a W-2 employee, there's no benefit. So you have a cell phone bill, and you have an internet bill, and you have a home to pay for, and you have daycare and all these things. And most of those, there's no benefit if you're a W-2 employee. What happens when you become a W-2 employee that is now in a business? So you don't have to quit your W-2 job. Not telling you to do that. For most people, this is a side gig at best, and that's what you should be using it for. But now your cell phone is a tax deduction. It's a business expense. Your medical bills can actually be 100% tax deductible. Your medical insurance, your travel, you can hire your kids to work for you. So all the things that, let's say Brian is a W-2 employee and I'm a business owner, all the things that Brian is spending money on, he can't deduct off of his taxes, but I can. And the more you treat your business like a business, the more tax deductions that you can develop. And when you start actually making more and more money, guess what? You get to keep more of your money, because always, always, always understand this. As a W-2 employee, you will always pay more than a business owner. And there are ways and strategies, legally, morally, and ethically, that we can create and come up with through tax code, because it's good for the economy and it's good for the government for us to continue being a better business owner and to make more money, because we're then pushing more money back in and hiring more people. We're getting these massive tax deductions. And so we're going to always bring home more money as a business owner than you would as a W-2 employee. So take it away. I'll let you speak, Brian.
Yeah, it's such a good point. It's really just a matter of getting educated on the options out there, and it's like they don't teach any of that in school, right? So it's no wonder that people, especially young kids, they get out of school and even in college, and they're wondering, well, now what, Yes. And a lot of them just find the closest job to them, and it's a shame that there's not more of an attempt at finding out, what a high school student or a college student really wants to do. I think it's like 60 or 7% of kids going to college undeclared, which means undecided, right? No decision. So 4 years and $100,000 on no decision. I mean, just think about that. This happens times millions of people all over the country, but with a little bit of education, which is what we're attempting to do on a grassroots level at an early age, these kids can get educated a little bit and they can have multiple revenue streams at 16 years old, and they can really start to generate some wealth, build some money. get a 3-family apartment building, live in one of them, rent out the other 2. And just like I said, that's a business in itself. So they could have network marketing, real estate, an Amazon store, Shopify store. They could have a YouTube channel. They can monetize that. And you're seeing just a whole generation now, as we speak, that's starting to understand that. So it's really kind of cool to watch,
I love it. Yeah, you're exactly right. And you are correct in saying it's a gateway. Because see, guys, like my entire accounting practice, I lost my business 10 years ago. The guy I sold it to stopped paying me after 4 months. I was $250,000 in debt. I could not afford to file bankruptcy. And when I say I couldn't afford to file bankruptcy, I actually filed bankruptcy and had to voluntarily withdraw my bankruptcy because they said I couldn't afford the payment. So didn't even know you can't do, who knew that you could afford not to file bankruptcy, right? Super crazy. But, my parents got me involved in network marketing, and that's why I'm here today. Like, I didn't know that network marketing was a legitimate opportunity. And as an accountant, I've been an accountant for 19 years, but as an accountant, we were taught in college that a home-based business or a network marketing business is not legitimate. Mm. And, so I was taught, I just found out, you want to hear something really crazy? I just found out this week. So this week I got admitted for an honorary doctorate, which is super crazy. And I became an EA. So I took a test. I had to pass a 3-part test. It's something I should have taken 19 years ago. And an EA, to me, I never heard about it in college. Never. And I always heard that you want to go to school and you want to be a CPA, and that's the only way you're going to make money. And I refused to be a CPA because I didn't want to work for the government. I wanted to work for my client. And so I looked it up. What's the difference between an EA and a CPA? And I knew high level is that the only difference is publicly traded audits, which I don't like publicly traded companies anyway. So, and I had the equivalent of being a CPA, 150 hours. I've had that forever. And I had that by the age of 20. And so I went and took the test. I failed it by less than 10 points on all 4 parts the first time I took it. And I never went back. I'm like, I don't want to be a CPA. I didn't even want to be an accountant for a really long time. And so I Googled the difference between an EA and a CPA. And do you know that an EA is actually a higher credential per the IRS than a CPA? Yet I was never taught in college anything about being a CPA. And guess how much it costs to be an EA?
How much?
$450. And guess what you don't have to have in order to be an EA?
I'm guessing a college degree?
A college education. You don't have to have 150 hours. So it's like, this is crazy. So I think people are so lost, like they don't have the information. And that's really what this What's Your Plan B is all about, guys. Like, open your eyes. And if someone told you that this industry is not legitimate, or if it's not real, or you shouldn't be in it, they don't know what they're talking about. Because I was in it and I was broken when I got involved in it. My parents actually signed me up. I couldn't afford to sign up, and they paid for me to join. And I took what I learned. I took the personal growth and development. I took the mindset shift. I took the people that I was around, and I built a multi-million-dollar accounting practice from that in 6 years. And I would not be where I'm at today had it not been for the people. I don't have any friends, I don't think, outside of network marketing. All my friends are in network marketing, and they let me join in. So it's really fun. I get to hang out with them sometimes and be a part of it. So I feel like I'm still in it, but I'm not, which is really cool. And I can just help them. And that's what that's all about. I think the people that really love to just help people, you can find those people in the network marketing industry, because they really do. They could put their blood, sweat, and tears in anything. A lot of business owners can, but man, it's so fulfilling when, just like me, you can free up money. But that's all I can do as an accountant. I can free up money. I can push you in the right direction of where you need to go. And I believe that's network marketing. But then as a network marketer, you can help them, not only teach them how to free up money, you can provide them the education and teach them the skills that they need in order to build a legacy for their family.
Yeah, no question. I mean, that's hands down what really draws me to it now, is just that ability to take something that could be really stuck. And because then what are the other options if you think about it? If somebody's got a job and they're barely making ends meet, they don't have much time, they don't have much money to invest. I don't know of many other revenue streams that you can start with little time and little money, right? There's not a whole lot of options. So just from that point of view, it's worth taking a look at. So I can't say enough about the industry. It's same with me. It really, had I not found the industry, I'd be fine, I'm sure, but I'd be in construction still, a lot more stress for sure. I mean, even my construction company, I just shut it down. We were doing 10 million a year, and I shut it down just because it was a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Most people wouldn't have that option. They would have to stay in that stress and, that stressed out environment. But when you have other options, it's like, I really don't do anything that I just don't want to do anymore. And I don't say that to impress anybody. I mean, it's part of a 5-year plan. But you want to think about having multiple revenue streams, building your own economy. I mean, a lot of people right now are laid off because of COVID. 3 of my business fourfolded during COVID. Like literally, because people are home. Well, we have a home-based business, right? So my network marketing company, by accident, like 5-folded over the past 6 months. Our coaching business, people are looking for solutions. Our software company, same things. We give solutions. So it's amazing when you get on the other side of these economic waves. And I think network marketing is a great way to get your feet wet,
I love it. I love it. Well, Brian, I know that you are busy. So am I. I was late coming here today because I had a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm really focused over the next, 12 months for me to work on my business instead of in my business. And that's, one of the things that I learned, through Tony Robbins and being a part of a bigger purpose, right? So, I mean, that's literally our focus. It's not to get to and I don't know if this is you, but it's like when you start working and you make enough to pay your bills and then you make enough to have some extra and you can still start helping people. It's like you want to work harder when you don't need the money than you do when you need the money. Like it's the crazy
I know
thing.
what you're saying. It might sound funny to people, but I know exactly what you're saying. When you realize that there's no limits to what you can earn, it just becomes a big game. And it magnifies your reach and magnifies the people you can help. And it does magnify the toys and the homes and the fun stuff too. So
Exactly. And then I get to feed more children and free more children and provide drinking water for more children. And that's what it's all about, is to find a purpose that's greater than your problems. Mm-hmm. And I think the network marketing industry can do that. So, if you're listening to this and you didn't believe in network marketing, get back with the person who invited you to listen to this, because honestly, at the end of the day, my whole purpose is just to share with you another way, another option, and don't leave your day job. Do something on a part-time basis that could financially set you free. But the guarantee of that is just if you attempt to earn an income, you're going to save between $4,000 and $8,000 a year in taxes. And that's no joke, because that could truly change so many millions of people's households. I think 75% of the people that lost their homes back in 2008 and 9 would, if they had an extra $300 a month, that they wouldn't have lost their homes. Mm-hmm. And so we've given you enough information today to help you not only save some money in taxes, to get involved in the network marketing industry, regardless of what somebody tells you to do, regardless if your broke best friend says that it's, not the way to go. And at the end of the day, help you find a plan B. So, what's your plan B? That's really what this is all about. Find something you're passionate about, something you can open your mouth about, share it, save money in taxes, go help people, change lives. And Brian, I thank you so much for being on here. So tell me, last thing, anything you want to say to the audience today?
I think the biggest thing, besides, stop caring what other people think, is to enjoy the ride. So many people are going through life and they put their hopes and their dreams on a goal, and they forget to enjoy the ride, which puts them in a low vibration, and it stops them from being successful. You got to remember to focus on what's good, focus on gratitude, always focus on what's good and where you want to go versus what's not working, what's not good. Excuse me. And that's probably some of the most powerful advice that I've ever gotten, is just to really understand gratitude versus, complaining, I guess. Just
awesome.
To stay in an attitude of gratitude.
I love it. Thank you so much, Brian, for being on What's Your Plan B? Why You'd Be Brain Dead Not to Own a Home-Based Business. Guys, have an amazing day.
Take care, Courtney.